Good morning. This is the daily Tanya portion for today, the 7th of Shevat for a short year. Okay, and I'm sorry, for the 6th of Shevat, Vav Shevat, 6th of Shevat. Okay, and what we are discussing is how before the world was created and after the world was created, there is no change in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There is no change in Hashem. Okay? How can that be? So the Alter Rebbe gives a mashal. He says, ולמשל, כמו בנפש האדם, כשמדבר דבר אחד שדיבור זה לבדו, כלא ממש אפילו לגבי כללות נפשו המדברת. So the mashal he gives is very simple. He says, think about a person. A person may say many things. Okay, and now the person said one thing. That one thing is nothing in comparison to the person and everything that the person could do, right? So by my mashal, right, the world, the creation of the world is like that. The world was created with the utterance of the word Bereshit, one word, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu can have many sentences, many words, and he said just one. So that one word is nothing, ayin va'efes, compared to his infinity. Blessed be he, right? To Baruch Hu. Yeah. Blessed to the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, to his infinity. Nothing compared to that. So there is no change. Now there's more details here. שהוא בחינת לבוש האמצעי שלה. So we said dibur, right? We said that there are three garments that the neshama can wear. Machshava, thought. Dibur, and maaseh. Thought, speech, and action. Okay, things that you do with your hands. Okay. So the middle one is dibur. So obviously, שהוא כוח הדיבור שלה, שיכול לדבר דיבורים לאין קץ. And in reality, we can say ad infinitum words. Okay, how is that possible? Because the neshama is not limited. When the neshama is in the body here, it is limited. But we're talking about Hashem and how He created the world. So He could utter an infinite amount of words, an infinite amount of wisdom, right? And that we do say that the wisdom in the Torah is infinite, and that's exactly what it means. Okay, so out of this infinite amount of words and utterances that Hashem could say, He said one, and that's the entire creation. So there is no real change in Hashem before and after creation. ואין קץ ותכלית. וכל שכן לגבי בחינת לבוש הפנימי שלה, שהוא המחשבה שממנה נמשכו הדיבורים. Now we're getting into dibur, right? Speech is something that is derived from thought. Well, you can think an infinite amount of thoughts. Hashem definitely could, an infinite amount of thoughts. And out of that, a single word was derived, Bereshit. Okay? So, again, right? So this tzimtzum, this process of tzimtzum is showing us how infinite Hashem is and how the entire creation was created with the word Bereshit is really nothing. Okay, that's the whole point. Right? The thought is what animates the speech. Okay, now we're getting even deeper. Okay, now there's a higher level. We said thought generates speech. What generates the thought? Well, the neshama, the nefesh, right? The neshama is what generates the thought. Shen esor bchinotea hanal, right? Chabad, chule. So the neshama has its 10 emanations, the Sephirot, right? And they are chokhmah, bina, da'at, chesed, gevura, tiferet, netzach, hod, yesod, and malchus, right? So out of those there are many streams, right? That could go through from chokhmah to malchus until we get a single thought. So that's another form of tzimtzum. Until we get a single thought, right? And that single thought is one thought. There are many, many thoughts. And out of all those thoughts, we one word, Bereshit. שמהן נמשכו אותיות מחשבה זו, המלובשות בדיבור זה, כשמדבר. Okay, so from the 10 emanations, the 10 Sephirot, the 10 illuminations, right? From there, we get this thought. And that thought is what's enclosed in this speech. כשמדבר, כי המחשבה היא גם כן בחינת אותיות. Oh, when we think, we also use letters, okay? כמו הדיבור, רק שהן רוחניות ודקות יותר. So the same way that when we speak, we utter our sentences using letters, right? Doesn't matter the language, but especially with the Lashon HaKodesh, right? There are the, right? So we use letters. The machshava, the thought, also has letters, but they are more refined and spiritual. They're refined spiritual letters, okay? But we said machshava came from the 10 emanations, right? The 10 Sephirot, okay? And אבל 10 בחינות חב"ד, the 10 Sephirot, הן שורש ומקור המחשבה. They are the root and the source of thoughts, right? והן בהם בחינת אותיות עדיין. In the 10 Sephirot, there are no letters yet. It's just light. The 10 Sephirot they have light in them, but there are no letters yet. Okay? אין בהם בחינות אותיות עדיין. קודם שמתלבשות בלבוש המחשבה. So they do not have letters yet before they are enclosed in the clothing of thought. Okay. So a way to understand this is if we take the name of Hashem. It's a Yud, followed by a Hey, followed by a Vav, and followed by a Hey, right? So it's Yud K Vav K. So the first emanation, the first Sephirah is Chochmah, and that's a Yud, right? There are no letters in the Yud, in the Chochmah. Chochmah is Bittul, right? Bittul, nothing, just, batal, to be batal to the Creator, right? So, and then Bina, what does it mean to be batal, right? But even there are no letters yet. Still no letters. And then, when the Chochmah and the Bina are together, that's Da'at. Okay. Then, that process in the Neshama, before there are letters yet, so there are no words, no sentences, before there are letters, that process creates emotions. That's why emotions are very powerful, because they don't even have letters yet. They're like primal energy, right? And those emotions are in the letter Vav. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. That's the letter Vav, right? And finally, those emotions yield the Sephirah of Malchut, which receives the emotions, and Malchut is a Sephirah that gets enclosed, and Malchut is the last letter Hey of Yud K Vav K, and the top line of Malchut is Machshava, thought. Attached to it, going down, is Dibur, speech, and then that little line on the side, that's action, because action stands on its own. So after that whole process where there are no letters yet, come the letters of Machshava, which we said are spiritual and very refined and spiritual letters, and those are drawn down into speech, right? So that whole process could go many, many times before a single Machshava comes into our head. And there are many machshavot that come into our head. And out of all those machshavot, we may say one word. And that gives us an idea of how infinite Hashem is and how creation does not cause any change for him. Okay. And now the Alter Rebbe is going to give us a mashal about, from our daily life about how this process happens where there are no letters yet and then letters form in the thought and then in speech. Lemashal, כשנופלת איזו אהבה וחמדה בליבו. So when something that we love or that we really desire, it just happens to fall into our hearts, right? Into the heart of a person. בליבו של אדם. קודם שעולה מהלב אל המוח, before it goes up from the heart to the mind, to the brain, לחשב ולעורר בה, to mull it over, to think it through, to form the letters of thought, and בבחינת אותיות עדיין, it still does not have letters. Emotions do not have letters. Let's see. רק חפץ פשוט וחשקה בלב אל הדבר. Right? So that's why sometimes you say, I feel like having something. I feel like drinking or eating something. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's cholent. It's Shabbat. I want cholent, right? So that's what it means. I don't know what it is because I haven't formed the letters yet. I have to feel it and out of, right? That thing that you really like. Right? So the desire is in the heart. לאותו דבר. רק הייתה בכוח חוכמתו ושכלו, right? The desire could be for something that is from the mind, I feel like reading something. I don't know what it is. Reading is more related to the mind, right? Learning something. I want to learn something, right? חוכמתו ושכלו וידיעתו, שהיה נודע אצלו אותו דבר שהוא נחמד ונעים וטוב ויפה להשיגו ולדבק בו. So I know that I want to learn. I want to learn Hasidus. I want to learn Tanya, right? I don't want to learn this, right? So, but before I know what I want to learn, the words are not there. Oh, I want to learn Tanya. Now the words are formed, right? כגון ללמוד איזו חוכמה, right? I want to learn some kind of wisdom, right? או לאכול איזה מאכל. I want to eat some kind of food, but I don't know what it is yet, right? מאכל ערב, רק לאחר שכבר נפלה החמדה והתאווה בליבו בכוח חוכמתו, only after the desire fell into the heart from, it started with the emanation of wisdom, right? חוכמה בינה דעת, בכוח חוכמתו ושכלו, right? From the emanation of חוכמה בינה דעת, it fell into the heart, וידיעתו, חוכמה בינה דעת, חוכמתו ושכלו וידיעתו, right? חוכמתו is חוכמה ושכלו בינה, ודעת, וידיעתו דעת. ואחר כך חזרה ועלתה מהלב למוח, and afterwards, after the neshama, the emanations, the Sephirot of the neshama, chokhmah bin adat, were activated. I want to learn something. I want to eat something, right? After that was activated, it falls into the heart. Well, what do I want to eat? Emotions come in. What do I want to eat, right? And then it goes back, ועלתה מהלב למוח, לחשב ולהרהר בה. Now it goes back into the mind. When I say, what do I want to eat? Those are words already. That's in thought, right? להרהר בה. איך להוציא תאוותו מכוח אל הפועל? How do I enact on a desire, right? להשיג המאכל, to obtain that, that item of food, או למידת החוכמה, or the learning that I want to achieve, right? בפועל, הרי בכאן נולדה בחינת אותיות במוחו. Well, when it comes back from the heart into the mind, now those refined spiritual letters are formed in the mind, in מחשבה. שאין אותיות, and those words, and those are letters, כלשון עם ועם, and those letters could be in any language. Okay. המדברים והמרירים בהם כל ענייני העולם. Those are letters that in any language that you use to discuss anything that are any worldly matters. Okay, so that was Tanya for the 6th of Shevat for a short year.